Is rolling, I think. Hello and welcome to the Cow Corner dugout. Today's game was New Zealand versus Sri Lanka, technically, but in their own turf with everything on the line. Sri Lanka needed fight, needed clarity, needed composure. What they got instead was a ruthless Kiwi side that turned up methodical, unsentimental, and devastating. Sri Lanka is eliminated tonight, I think, and it isn't just an isolated story. I think it's part of a wider Super 8 theme that this phase hasn't been about fine margins or last over thrillers, with one exception last night, technically. It's been about teams being blown away when they've been slightly off. It's Sri Lanka lost by 56 runs to England in the first game. India was blown away by 76 runs. Zimbabwe by 107, if I'm not wrong. And today was
107, yes.
107. And today was the margin 60 something, right? So the message, I guess, is quite brutal but clear. In the Super 8s, win the toss, bat first. Whatever you get your spinners in, because you don't get time to recover. You either dictate or you disappear. And we've got Karthik Kannan and Tarutra who've been closely observing these games, and they'll build the narrative today. Guys, unfortunate for the host, they've disappeared from the tournament earlier than a nation of passionate fans would have imagined.
Yes, I think I was just surprised at the way it just whole panned out. Sri Lanka in the Super 8s, right? The way they finished that night against Australia when they won in Palekele, they've been a very, very poor reflection of that. But it also means that these teams are very good when it comes to flat wickets and due. And suddenly, when you get a wicket that is, turning and there is, it's slightly tough to bat on, I think they just freeze and they're not able to score runs. And today you saw that with Sri Lanka. They were 20 for 2 in the power play, which I think in this World Cup is the lowest power play score. I think Atarutra and I were just speaking. Why did they choose to do that? Was it that 20 for 2 looked better in optics than 34 for 5 that they were versus England? I don't know. So I don't know how they made those choices, but it was extremely shambolic performance.
My question to you is, why would they choose to bowl? They won the toss. It's bizarre, right? After what they went through last time, and it can't be like 4 days away. What happened 4 days ago is blown away from memory so fast, right? They obviously have an issue chasing, and they've seen a pattern now for 5 days, which all teams have struggled chasing, right? And it is best to bat first. Why wouldn't you do that?
I don't actually have a clear answer for that.
Go ahead, Tarutra.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't think there is a clear answer for that. They were good against Australia, maybe, is one very weak answer. But I don't know why you would chase today, especially after, like you said, what happened against England. And I think you brought up the Australia when we all at the time thought it was an amazing win. But I think what we've learned in the last 10 days also is that, one, Australia is not that good at the moment. And the side that they did end up losing to, Zimbabwe, got absolutely hammered in their first Super 8 game, right? So maybe we are looking at that group as stronger than it was actually. Because the group that Sri Lanka is in, England, New Zealand, Pakistan, you have to say that's the easier group.
Oh, by far and away. I mean, they were all second in their respective. I mean, that's the preceding
that too,
convoluted shit which we could discuss, or just leave it for broadcasters to, who have guts to kind of call it out. But yeah, I'll state it on the record. I think it's a stupid thing to be preceding. It hasn't benefited anyone, the last World Cup or this one. Well, except for Indian. It benefits Indian brands because they get their advertising at the right time for India games, right? That's the only. I mean, all this is to ensure that India plays night games on the right days.
Not just that, right? I think it's also for the logistics and this whole fan movement, so that fans know where are they going to,
and have no idea where the semi-final is happening at this point.
Even now.
So let's not get there.
There's tickets for games where they don't know the games are. Like I don't know if anyone is left in these organizations that care about fans. But no, the funny bit about that entire preceding is what we might not have India for 2 extra games if you just given them 2 second-place teams instead.
Yeah.
But no, back to the other co-hosts who I think are pretty much out, right? Even if they beat Pakistan, it's not in their hands.
They get to
Um,
two only. Yeah, they get to
No, they
two,
can't.
yeah.
and New
I
Zealand's
don't think
already on.
mathematically so. I don't think mathematically
Yeah,
it's possible, despite the rained out
Oh
first
yeah,
game.
New Zealand have 3 points, right? Because of the washout.
New Zealand
Correct.
have
Yeah,
three.
Yeah,
So there.
yeah,
yeah,
So New Zealand and England are already on the top of the table. Pakistan are on
yeah,
one. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 right now.
and well,
yeah.
that's
So I mean, the question we were vaguely talking about before we got onto this stream. Why? What does Sri Lanka have a problem with spin, especially when the Sanka out first ball to an absolutely brilliant ball?
That was pace, but I'm just saying generally, I think Sri Lanka have
No,
been
I
very
know, but I'm saying just generally.
Yeah, even in the last game, right? They were falling prey to Liam Dawson, Adil Rashid, and Will Jacks. 3 wickets,
Will
two
Jacks
and
in the
three
power
wickets.
play with no turn.
So turn
So
or no turn, I think Sri Lanka have been really on their own pitches. One has been a day game at the end, one has been a night game. So you've given all possible combinations for them. I think they're pretty bad at chasing, especially in conditions which are tough to bat. And these were similar. If you recall the T20I series between England and Sri Lanka just before the World Cup, they lost 0-3. Harry Brook called it the worst pitches that he's played on, but England still won those 120, 140 kind of games. So I think it just shows that Sri Lanka in this format, for the kind of surfaces they have, they don't have the team to play those surfaces. Either you change the surface or you build a team that is geared for these surfaces. So I think Sri Lanka have come into the World Cup like a kid who prepares for the exam in the last 1 hour, and then they're aiming to say that hey, the question paper was too tough. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and I think also they are um, they have a they've just been unlucky with their bowling, like losing Patarana and uh, Hasranga is incredible. Like how they've got stuck
Siranga has yet to
playing
play a World
Himanta
Cup, by the way.
way too much.
In a 10-year
Is
career,
that
he's
true?
yet to play a
Actually,
World Cup. Yeah.
Wait,
He's just
Hasaranga
found out.
played the group game, right? He
Well,
he
he's
did.
not
played one
okay. He's
game.
not
Yeah,
completed a game. Well, he's
Hmm.
not.
yeah,
Yeah,
he played one
he's
game.
been injured every single World Cup or ICC tournament since 2017. It's
Oh,
bizarre,
that's
right?
No
sudden.
Super
It's
Eights,
a
no
it's a
knockouts.
weird stat.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but this is piece of information which I've gathered on WhatsApp.
yeah.
But
But I
yes, I
think
think as
that's
much
part of
as
the
Once
problem.
I haven't checked this out, but
Hmm.
on the face of it, I don't know, man. I don't remember him in any of the. He's started in 2017, so beginning of 2017. So it's a 9-year career starting till date. And the way ICC tournaments are every year almost. Yeah. So
yeah,
he wasn't in Champions Trophy. He's not in T20 World Cups. He's not in 50 over World Cups. So it's been a. I mean, if this stat is correct, it is bizarre that how
it
can a
is.
spinner and who's not like okay, he's not. He's just a spinner, right? I mean,
No, I think
it's
he's one of the elite spinners. If
yeah,
if injuries were not there, he is one of the elite spinners because I
yeah.
remember doing a little quadrant analysis for Tarutra sometime over the weekend where we were trying to see the quality of spinners and how much they have. Hasaranga was on top, but he only played that one game versus Ireland. But that said, I think we're going into a lot of stats and details. We've got some very interesting quips today on the podcast where we're going to go through comments that we get, and these are comments that we're getting from WhatsApp groups that we're part of, especially the Long Rope Army. So we're going to feature some comments there, and some are hilarious. And I think that's a great way to look at the comment and then say. So I'm just going to go share my screen and show some of the comments that are there, and we're going to go with. I think the first there's some very interesting comments that came. Okay, are you seeing my screen now?
Well, let me just do this. Let me add it. Yeah, there you are. Now we are.
Just coming up. Yeah.
Okay, so Sahil from Himachal Pradesh, he says all Sena countries are playing wisely in these conditions. हमारे वाले intent के चक्कर में we are at the brink of an early exit. It's an interesting point that Sahil has made here.
No,
This
so
was
the
I
first interesting point is he's been nice enough to include Pakistan and Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka in the Hamare Wale group.
It did.
So I guess it's a but he's kept West Indies in that part, right? um, as part of the Sena group.
I think he
So
just
that's
wanted to
so it's
put
not
the
a
fun on Sena.
eh,
But Sena में, I think it should be news. अच्छा, A को निकालो. Sena comes into the A तो आ जाता है through memory,
it's
but वो news है.
Yeah.
NEWS.
WS
All
correct.
news countries play
Countries,
wisely in these conditions.
yeah, and
So
we
what do you
haven't
think?
got the news yet.
Today, I thought the way New Zealand played, especially Rachin Ravindra in those first few overs till the 12th over, he was playing very well, he was 32 of 22 balls. Some of the strokes that he was playing, of course, he's a very good player, but I think they were willing to put their head down at the same time. Managed to find that aggression. So I think that's the point that even Sahil is trying to make.
I
That
have a larger picture, larger question on this. What I observed in the last World Cup as well as this one is that we are back to that world of having an anchor in the middle, and all the teams doing well have, and including India, this is so. There have been games with in which Tilak Verma kind of played that runner ball 25, holding the middle through. I'm talking the earlier phase. In the first game, Surya Kumar Yadav did that, and we're noticing a lot of, except for West Indies, there's been a lot of that middle order anchor coming in at 3 and 4, who is pulling the team along without going for it till 16, 17 and delivering it to the finishers. Um, this has not been happening in bilateral cricket. It is
right. You
happening.
just
It happened. I mean, it was what Virat Kohli did, right, to get us through the last World Cup, to get the runs on the board. And then, because what's happening in these World Cups is nobody's. I mean, yes, one West Indies goes mad, but generally speaking, 200 is not being put up. It's the 170 which is becoming a good winning total. Thoughts on that? On this middle order anchor
no,
re
absolutely.
bringing it back. Is India missing one? Defining Tilak Verma's role as, because he willy nilly played it, right? So
Right.
it's not like
I
he set out to do it upfront.
I think there is a weird thing of you're completely right. We have anchors all of a sudden in all of these games. 160, 170, 180 are great scores. But the anchors are not the traditional number four, right? In a lot of these teams, it's either higher or lower. You could argue to an extent. We were having this debate yesterday with the Pakistan England game of Farhan is somehow both their anchor and their accelerator. He's got to stick around for 15 overs, make sure that not enough wickets fall, and also accelerate until the tail enders come in. Nisanka, you could argue, is that role for Sri Lanka as well. He did that versus Australia. He did that a couple of times in the group stage. Sky, who I don't think anyone would have thought of a couple of years ago as an anchor, has basically been India's anchor for the group stage. I tried doing that again against South Africa. It didn't work out. But it's not been a traditional, oh, here's our anchor.
Yeah, but see, also
It's
okay,
been the best player anchoring.
or what it's been in Farhan's case, or even I would say in Phil Salt's case in the first game, is if the other three wickets go the other end, then they become the anchor. So it's not like they're setting out to be the anchor, but
Yeah.
they are repositioning their game plan, which is what I felt like. Do we have the capability for it? Right? Let's call a spade a spade. My question is, did Abhishek at 20 for 2 have that capability to say, okay, now I need to buckle down? He doesn't, right? Because that's not what we want from him at any stage of the match.
Yeah.
So it's so is it time to look at our batting order for the next thing, defining that role? Is it? I'm jumping the gun
I
on our
think it's
topic.
no, I think it's totally dependent on the surface, right? Because the surfaces that we've so far played in have been tough, and the Chennai wicket is, I think, one of those truer surfaces. As much as it is a black soil wicket, Chennai, if you recall, this is the same surface as the first game which I'd been to, the Afghanistan New Zealand game, where it was a 175, 180 kind of a game, chased in the 17th or 18th over. So, except for the first 3-4 overs, it is a free
Also,
run scoring.
that was a day game, but
That was a day
things
game.
change.
And by the way, one of the journalists actually put his hand on the grass last night, and it was completely wet. There was a lot of dew to expect. So, in
Oh,
such conditions, I think we will be back to traditional T20 conditions for Chennai. Though I know Chennai traditionally means spinning wickets and all that, but we've seen the kind of games that have happened in Chennai. Yuvraj Hamza scored 100, and even Netherlands were beaten by USA, where teams batting first were scoring 180, 190. So I think Chennai, the surface has changed post them, relaying that whole strip. So I think India for the Chennai game are still good to go. They can go their Mad Max ways and they'll still be safe. But the point that you make on trickier surfaces, we will have a problem. India played a semi-final in Mumbai, and Mumbai we've seen two different types of games. Like for example, there are some games which are the 140, 150 games in Wankhede, where in fact the degree of turn was highest in Wankhede when you had those Nepal versus England and the subsequent games. But a couple of nights back, I was in Wankhede watching the West Indies take on Zimbabwe. They hit close to 34 boundaries in 120 balls. And to me, the wicket was turning, the wicket was bouncing, but West Indies played that kind of a game. But again, I think it
smaller boundaries also, right?
Smaller boundaries. And
I'm just going through the Chennai games. I'm just going through the Chennai games.
Right.
Okay, game one was a morning game, the Afghanistan-New Zealand one. You're right, 183 chased down in the 18th over. Then we have a UAE-New Zealand game, 175 for no loss chased in 15 overs. Well, UAE put up 173, which is against this New Zealand attack. Pretty decent, yeah. Then we have this was an afternoon game, 3 p.m. game. Then we have Chennai, USA put on 196 on a night game against Netherlands. Scrolling. USA put on 199 against Namibia in a.
Which is what I'm saying. Chennai is a high-scoring track, so India can continue its Mad Max.
Afghanistan scoring 200 in a afternoon game. So night or day doesn't seem to be mattering. The quality of the bowling attack is fairly neutralized depending on the quality of your bats. So yes, so India could be looking at a batting first, targeting 220, 230 kind of a scenario.
So they're back to their ways. I think they will have to review it, maybe in conditions like, for example, in the black soil wicket. I don't much understand about soil, but in that wicket where traditionally
down to the bounce,
down to the bounce. So India struggled. I thought, why was South Africa batting first? But we could see it. India didn't have the momentum. They were like a car stuck on a second gear on a 120-kilometer highway. That's how it felt like, because South Africa, the way they batted, their boundaries were clearing 15 rows. And India, I think, just when they scored their first 6, the ball just, off a catch, the ball went over the boundary. So it was very traumatic as an Indian fan to see the way they were playing. So India also played the same, just like the way Sri Lanka has been playing in this chase. We also don't like the sticky wickets to go and play. So I think, yes, the question is, who is our anchor? And Tilak Verma is the only anchor that I can think of. Maybe Surya Kumar Yadav. But India missed that stable top order bat. Like, for example, somebody like Virat or Rohit, who were more complete batters. They could bat on a 150 wicket. They could bat on a 220 wicket. They had that completeness with so many years of cricket that they had put in as body of work. That India don't have this World Cup.
So I would actually like to flip the question you had earlier about Abhishek, because I think Abhishek is one of those guys that he's so good that even if you give him 6 ducks in a row, I'd still pick him. The question is someone
I picked him to be top scorer that night.
No, but the question I have is Rinku, right? At the back end, would we not be better served by dropping him for someone at a 3 or 4 and shifting their entire order down one?
So that then leaves us with one option, which is bringing in Sanju Samson in the top. That's pretty much our only option. That's pretty much our only option. In which case,
the squad is not well designed.
Yeah, so you are missing a Shreyas Iyer, or you are missing a, that kind of a batter, right? And ideally a right-hander and a right-hander. Well, I personally wouldn't miss Shubman Gill on any such white ball game, but yeah, you have a point. Like that, but does he have that game to adapt to a tricky wicket scenario? Does he? Because he gets out.
I think Sanju Samson is a lot like Joss Butler right now in this tournament. It's all in his head. It's not technique. It's not. He's got all of that. He just doesn't seem to.
Would you look at bringing Ishan one down and putting Surya Kumar and then at 4 and so everybody goes down a bit.
That would be a lot of confusion in the middle out there. But even with Sanju Samson, right? If you look at some of his hundreds, they've come on really flat tracks where India scored 290 or 280. I haven't seen a Sanju innings in a 140, 150 game where he's carried the bat and scored 75 or 80. This is just on past conditions. So I don't know if Sanju is also that kind of a person who's probably not got the opportunity. He's played 2025 T20Is, but I don't think India's ever played on these kind of
In the
wickets.
Asia Cup, he did a couple of down the order holding things
But he played
together.
at 5. He played at
Yeah,
5, and
he
none
played
of
at
them
five.
were significant knocks.
No, he
Tilak
got a
Verma
50
got
odd
When
in
he
a.
came in, did we never need any of his knobs? Or was he just finishing off? Because from what I
In one
remember,
of
it
the
wasn't
games,
like particularly important. It was good, but not like on his shoulders.
in one of the games, if I remember right, and it was after I think we had qualified for I think it was an Afghanistan game where there was a lower order 50 which he brought in or thereabouts, which needed because I think by that time they realized that is going hell for leather is not working. Which is why after that game, I think it was the game before Tilak Verma the final. So I think it was the game either the game before or the game before that. So it was leading into the final. Of course, all those matches were extremely memorable, which is why we remember them precisely.
My favorite
But
month.
yeah, but yeah,
But
I mean,
short
Tilak
story,
Verma has shown that he could do that based on the final of the Asia Cup. But
Have
and Surya
you?
Kumar has
I
shown
mean,
us
have either of you
he
been
has that
convinced by Tilak Verma this tournament?
this
Like
tournament
he's
not at all.
getting scores, but he constantly feels like he's about to get out.
He
but
just doesn't
if
feel in like it's just guy looking out of form and out of sorts. It's I get that feeling, yes.
the feeling I
He's
get with Tilak Verma is that even in the game, I've been to a game in Chepauk, Jan 25th, 26th, in 2025, and he played a very similar knock, 30 or 40 balls, and then finished it off with 65 in 40 balls. He was able to take the game to the end by playing defense when required and then attack towards the end, and he has all of those strokes. So I think it's probably a role that's accorded to him, where he is probably seen as that person who would be that anchor whenever the other, like for example Abhishek or Ishan Kishan are going berserk. But I think that is India's only opportunity, the power play, where if they get a score, even if the other batters are not able to, that's probably their only insurance. But I think Chennai is going to be a proper belter track where their natural game is possible. Let's see how that goes. But yes, that's a lot of time that we've devoted to
spent
thinking
on what
yeah
if.
on yeah what ifs.
The
Now
long
let's get
host.
into our calculations.
Uh,
Bring out our calculators
No,
and figure
no,
out.
I think
Are
there
we
are
doing
about
that?
quick. We'll get there. We'll just have the 3-4 very quick things, messages that were there during the day. One of the messages that came was, "What is the process to play Sri Lankan spinners in the Indian team for the home test matches?"
But I don't
That's
know about
what.
Sri Lankan, but there are a couple of spinners I felt we can acquire. Aryan Dutt, for example. I'm quite impressed by like his name is correct. He speaks without much of an accent. So I think it should be fairly easy to get him, no? No? We've
Yeah,
got money,
I'm
man.
sure.
This
so
is
If we got
this is
money
like
and we'll
Morgan.
find some way to. Yeah, he can play for Pondicherry, and then we can select him from there.
yeah.
But I think there's some very good spinners that we. I mean, I think at least the wicket supported spin. So the way Mitchell was bowled, or the way Sri Lanka came back, I think it's very interesting to watch these spinners. And I'm actually scared to play these Sri Lankan spinners in Gaul later this year in July, August. Even though these are very different formats, that's something that I was thinking at that point of time. Next up, there's a lot of Sahil questions today here. Mike Howard looks like Ellen DeGeneres. What I don't know how he was able to draw that parallel. Did you guys look at it that
He's
way?
not wrong. I've never once thought that phrase in my head, but after he said it, it's kind of hard not to see.
I think it depends also at which camera angles they show Mike Howard, and at what excitement level he's at when they cut to him, right? Um,
So yeah, I think
yes,
someday
Sahil has a point. I will concede.
Anuj Prabhu, I think on the group had mentioned that despite Sri Lanka getting New Zealand at 84 for 6, he felt that New Zealand will win it. They have Santner, Sodhi, Rachin, and Phillips. 16 overs of spin. So even if they get 120, he's backing New Zealand, which I thought was quite a bold call at that point. I thought New
And,
Zealand were going to get all out, and it happened that way.
And they didn't get to 120.
They got
And
to 48 runs more.
They got to 107. So
107.
No,
107
no,
for
he
it.
said even if no, he
If Sri
said
Lanka,
even if,
yeah. So
if
what I meant
New
was
Zealand get one.
they wouldn't.
Right.
So Sri Lanka didn't even get to 120 to chase the 120.
Yeah.
And there were 14 overs of those spinners between Santner, Sodi. In fact, it was just 2 overs. 14 overs, 6 for 80. That's
Wow,
that is.
I
you
mean,
got
That was
no,
the
this
time we
brings us
used
to
to
one
play
of the.
3 We used to do this with Ashwin, Jadeja, and Kuldeep at a point, or Chahal, and that combination, that those late 2010s, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
Those used to
But
be our
the
figures.
funny point about that stat is, in the middle overs today, Sri Lanka scored more runs than New Zealand. They scored 13 more runs than New Zealand in the middle overs today. So they won the middle overs. They just
moral
refused to
victory.
attack the pacers.
Middle overs is 7 to
They
15.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Or
just didn't
according
attack
to
the
Geo,
pacers.
is that
It
what they're
was one
calling
of the
it?
most
They're
baffling.
calling it? What is
Oh,
Geostar
sorry,
calling
that
it?
would be the
Consolidation phase.
consolidate plus
Consolidate
launch.
phase.
Consolidate plus half of launch. The stats are
That's
unbelievable. But no, yeah, it's the 20. They scored 40 runs in the power play in the dead overs today. I don't know how you can expect to be competitive when you bat like that.
Yeah, so
I
but
think
that's a moral victory.
that's because 20, the power play at 20 was enough there to set them so far back that despite winning the consolidating, they still haven't. They
And this
couldn't
is
consolidate till the 20th over.
Yeah.
pretty bad batting. So moving to the next message. Good to see Sri Lanka determined not to lose any wickets before lunch. That's exactly how they were batting, right? 6 overs, 20.
Give respect. Giving respect to the.
Respect. So they're making Ravindra look like one. I think that's the amount of turn Ravindra got today. Like especially those stumpings in that first over, right? I was just surprised. Are they just giving their wickets away, or yeah, they actually made Ravindra look a little like one. Very interesting comment. And finally, I think
shows up when it's time.
I think, see, I'm just checking. In 48 games, he's only bowled 51 overs. That's like 1 over per game. He's not even the regular bowler. He comes in and picks 3 wickets. So, but yeah, I think Sri Lanka
that's been
probably.
the story so far. Like Will Jacks is doing those kind of things. Random spinners are. I mean, that's why they actually played at Charith Asalanka, I think, today, so that they have a fourth.
So I
spinning
think Tilak Verma should also think about bowling in the power play.
We got Rinku Singh. Don't worry.
Rinku Singh is. I don't think he's there for the game tomorrow. But
He's
yes.
Oh, correct. Yeah,
He's
he's
No,
not there.
I thought Rinku's father is
think,
not well, so he's
Yeah.
gone home.
I haven't caught up on that
so
bit
yeah.
of news.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, he's out for
So
tomorrow's
yeah.
game. But I think he's back.
So
for the week.
therefore that your wish gets fulfilled, right? They bring in.
So, yeah,
I mean,
dark way for it
will
to
you-
happen. But yeah.
I
We'll
mean,
see what they do.
So there is no option. They have to put Sanju in. There is no other batter. Unless they
There
play
is no
both
other
Akshar.
batter.
Unless they play
Maybe
Akshar
they
in
just
that.
ask- No, what they do is they make Washington Sundar go twice. I think that'll be Gambhir's happiest day.
They have another lefty. They have an Akshar who can also play
Yeah.
Rinku's role in that sense and give 4 overs of potential spin.
No, absolutely. I think
What
it's
would
most
your call
likely
be?
Akshar.
Would you think they'll bring in a Sanju for Rinku or bring in an Akshar?
No, I think that I saw some debate on Twitter that last game they wanted to bring Sanju for Abhishek, but I think there was some debate between the coaching staff and Surya Kumar Yadav, and Surya Kumar Yadav convinced Gautam Gambhir at the end that Abhishek should play. So I'm not sure about that, but I think Akshar for Rinku seems a decent swap because you have somebody who can bat higher up the order if required, if there's a collapse, somebody who can bowl 2-3 overs of spin also, and I think Akshar is a
4 overs of
good
spin.
enough.
Come on, actually, it's
Yeah.
Akshar Patel.
Yeah.
No,
He's
he
more-
spent time-
He's
No,
more odds-on spinner than Washington Sundar. I mean,
No,
Washington
I'm-
Sundar
see,
is a
that
great
depends-
spinner against India, not against any other team. They are playing with eight
but sometimes
lefties, man.
Yeah, it's a weird batting order.
So
You
the
know this,
point
right?
here is
You're aware of this, right? There are 8 left-handers in our last batting lineup. 8, if you include Arshdeep and or Kuldeep was missing, so 7. Yeah.
I think you just wanted to make that number sound bigger than what it was. Including
No, it was.
Kuldeep in that.
We played 8 in one match. In that match, there was
I know,
only Bumrah. There was only Bumrah, Hardik, and Surya as the righties. We played one game like that. I think was it the Netherlands game? It was last week. It is
we've
bizarre.
got
How can you be
complete
playing
circle.
8? Yeah.
from losing that 2019 World Cup semi-final, the 50 over World Cup, where we had all righties, to now having an all
No,
lefty.
2015 we had alternate lefties. 19.
2019, the where
1919.
19
Jadeja was
we
our
had
only
all
lefty.
these right.
Jadeja and Pant.
Jadeja was around. Pant.
Jadeja and
So we
Pant
had
were our
like
lefties.
a
Yeah.
so we've just reversed the situation.
But in 2015 we got it
Yeah.
perfectly right. There was one every odd numbered player was the righty, and so it was Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan, Virat Kohli, Yuvraj Singh. 2015,
So,
maybe Suresh Raina was there. Yeah, sorry. Then there was Dhoni. So every alternate number was a lefty.
right, and Raina
So
came at
it's
six.
the
You're right.
funny.
So
That's the funny thing about
So five
Gambhir
five.
now, right? Didn't he? He started his reign with this. I have to have left hand, right hand at every potential partnership,
Combination.
and he just
And he's
abandoned
got
that.
the other. Yeah, because
well,
all the righties are getting eliminated. No, so I mean, whoever was in the race in the last year or so. I mean, Rohit
Hmm.
and Virat retired some time back, but the others, Shubman, who else?
I mean,
Jitesh,
Shreyas was just
Shreyas.
doesn't get a chance.
These
Jitesh doesn't get a
all the
chance.
righties are sidelined. All the righties seem to
Yeah.
be sidelined. So I think we can't blame Kabir for it. It's one of those things which has come to pass.
right, I was about to make a left wing, right wing kind of conspiracy
Yeah.
theory, but but it didn't match the narrative.
Gambhir is undermining his own bosses.
Yeah. It was inversely related.
Inversely proportional. Yeah. So that's
The
it.
further right you go, the more left you need. That's the quote. The further
Well,
right
balance.
you go, the more left you need to balance it out.
Nirav's career as an anchor is just starting.
Yeah. And might be over by if this goes viral.
Yeah, we'll make it viral here. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We just have to
All
put
right.
the right memes on that image when we put it up, upload it on Instagram in the morning, and we'll make it viral. So
So
here we are now.
guys,
Qualification
whoever's
scenarios.
watching, we'd love your comments. We'd love you to
Yes,
subscribe to
please.
our channel. We are hitting 100 number, which is great. And today I
Oh,
see about 50 people on the stream, which is nice. I think Taruta, they all came for you.
wow.
Because we haven't had 50
It's,
people on a live stream till now. So thank you guys for joining us. Please do subscribe to
Thank
our
you.
YouTube channel, and we'd love to take up your comments, especially if you know the exact match India needs to qualify for the semifinals.
So we'll await your
uh,
Because
comments. You
what
can do
would
that.
be a World Cup without an India-England game, right? Or another India-Pakistan game? No, Pakistan's not making it. There's no way Pakistan
So we've
making
had
it.
an India England's. Okay, let's assume Pakistan doesn't make it because I have to book my flight tickets tomorrow. So I don't want this Colombo this thing here. But in fact, there was one girl in the group called Karishma, and she was saying that I don't want a final played at the Narendra Modi Stadium. It's a Panauti Stadium. I will want an India Pakistan final at Colombo so that we win. So,
Okay.
what do you guys think of this? There's this big debate that day. I was there at Ahmedabad, and as soon as I think Abhishek Sharma fell, there was this guy behind me, Shashi, and he was like, "Arey sala, ye to Panauti Stadium hai," and that's what he said. And I remember I just put that quote up. It got like some 450K views until BCCI sent me a copyright notice, and I had to pull that video down. So,
really?
yeah, it's happened twice, thrice to me. A very
It's
random.
you can't show match.
I was
You
showing match
can't, like
footage and the crowd reaction to that wicket, but I
if your
think
field of play gets visible, gets shown. So if you
yeah,
actually shoot that
Oh,
person
there was a little
against
bit
the
of the feel of
backdrop,
that.
and now I think the field of play
Hmm.
rules have also changed. It includes all the stands. So you can go in the the area where they have the water and whatever. Then there you can shoot whatever you want. And they cut it down if you get views. So they
Such
want the
a
views, not you.
fan-friendly sport we have. Yeah.
yeah. I think the
Well,
ceiling
there are
is if you hit
podcasters. They
400.
brought down their entire back catalogs, man, of certain podcasters
Yeah.
of
It's
Australian
the
orientation.
Aussies. Yeah.
Yeah. So only because they use
Yeah. What do we? No. So back
terms.
to Karthik's question. What do we
Sorry.
think of Ahmedabad? We keep losing there, so it's not great for India.
We've lost only 2 games actually. We've only lost 2 games, but it's so that the memory is so
The
bad that we lost that.
men have lost 2 games. I saw a women's game there which we lost also last year to Australia.
Have
But yeah, year before last.
how's that Ahmedabad? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was one at Ahmedabad.
Oh.
I always thought women's games are played at that Lal Bhai Contractor Stadium in Surat. It's like a image that they play in that stadium only.
The
But
the, the non-glamorous second stadium of any city. That's been the thing.
Yeah.
The DY Patil and the other stadium at Baroda and but yeah, no, I think that there was this one tournament where they got to play at Ekana at it's a bilateral between India and Australia.
okay.
Was it on where they got to play at Ekana and Mulanpur and
But yes,
then good
question back to
stadiums.
the question. Do you think it's a Panauti
Hmm.
stadium?
See, as someone sitting in a city that's not had a match in a year, yeah, please bring him back to Bangalore.
But as a fan, it's how far will you go to watch?
Chinnaswamy right now.
And Swami is a better bet. I feel like getting to Ahmedabad
Yeah,
is.
especially for our Mad Max
Hmm.
lineup, I think you want Chinnaswamy as much as possible.
I think Ahmedabad, this was probably the only time where we, in a T20, batted second and we were not able to, get anywhere close. Because I remember a series of 5 T20Is played in Ahmedabad between India and England men's team in 2021. Those games are all 175, 180 games. Sometimes I think we're very
Who's
surface dependent.
Yeah, it's also who's the curator, right?
Right.
Don't they change? I mean, like who's curating it? Let's put it that way.
But
This
I
is
think, yeah,
not under BCCI's.
right.
BCCI
This is not
wants
the big
more runs. ICC doesn't want more runs.
This is ICC, yeah.
So I
I'm
think
like,
that
hey, aren't these the same?
India's never chased.
I don't-
Did you know this? Like they brought up this stat, and I was like, India's never chased 170. Like
yeah,
never
In
in a
T20s,
ICC tournament. Never in an
in an
ICC
Indian
T20s.
ICC tournament.
in an ICC tournament. In an ICC
So
tournament.
that's like
That's true.
you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
these
that's true. I
stats seem
completely
really out of place because we see 170 chased pretty much every game, right? I mean, we are so used to seeing 170s being chased in IPL, and it's only when it's now even 200 is not a psychological thing, right? Because people have chased that in a
Mm.
final, close to 200. So
IPL is
I
a very
feel
different sport with all
I
this
know, yes,
impact.
impact player, I understand, but it's the end of it. Who's curating those? No,
Yeah.
I mean,
No, but
it's
even the
what is
New
the
Zealand
brief
games,
to the
right?
curator?
The New Zealand games before the World Cup, they were much higher scoring than this.
Yeah.
Like it's just
So
the pitches have been very different. I
New
don't think any of
Zealand,
us
South
expected.
Africa, I think they've all been high scoring. Where there
Yeah.
were
I think
hundreds. People were getting hundreds. Now nobody's
Mm.
even getting 50s in our games. Like except for Surya Kumar,
Yeah.
we haven't
I
had a
think
50.
ICC is like that
But
CBSE question paper setter, right? You study whatever you want, but I'll give you whatever question paper I want. So, if you the 2016 World Cup, who imagined that the World Cup opener for India would get all out for 79 against Ish Sodhi?
it's New Zealand.
So if you
Yeah.
versus New Zealand, right? So that I think
It was at
ICC is always
Mohali,
prepared.
wasn't it? That
No,
was
that
at
was in
Mohali,
Nagpur,
right?
Jamta.
Nagpur.
Mm.
That was the opening game. That's where I think Harsha Bhogle got into a fight with Shashank Manohar, and that's where the whole thing, expanded. But and Nagpur, apparently even Afghanistan had bet West Indies. I met some West Indies fans at the Wankhede Stadium. And they were so much joy. They were like cheering every ball to go for a six. It was amazing sitting with them. That guy, his biggest claim to fame is he picked a couple of blades of grass from the turf after Lara had scored 400. He said he's kept it at his home.
Ah,
So
that's a
very
good
interesting
piece of
conversation.
information.
So, but yes, it's nice. We're meeting. I mean, like I'm meeting some interesting fans tomorrow. They're called the Castle Corner. We recently did a
Zimbabwe
podcast.
guys, yeah.
Zimbabwe. We did a podcast with one of them, Godwin Mawayo. On Saturday morning, I did it from the Ahmedabad airport, and yeah, we're meeting them. I'm trying to see if we can do like a memorandum of understanding. We give them Chennai's Ratna Cafe Sambar, and they give us Castle Lager beers, because Tamil Nadu has some very very bad quality alcohol.
You guys are getting ready for 2027, huh?
So yeah, 27. Those guys. In fact, the guy attended the podcast from the Harare Sports Club. Behind him was the wicket. He was on the ground and then taking the podcast from
Nice.
the ground. Next
Nice.
level of swag. So
Can you
looking forward to
imagine
that.
doing stuff like that in India? Just hanging out in the middle of the ground?
I did that once, by the way. Not during a match or anything, but on a training day, I did it from.
For Gujarat, you were making some videos for the
No,
Gujarat
no, no.
Titans.
I was doing some things for our Oak Tree Sports. We used to
Okay.
one of the was it a World Cup game or some shit? It was, I can't remember. But I remember two of us were in the stadium, so we couldn't get out of there. So we ended up doing sitting in the empty stands and doing it.
Right. So yeah, so I don't think
Privilege.
it's a Panwati
One
Stadium. We've gone 2-3 topics down, but yeah, my
Yeah.
verdict is Narendra Modi Stadium is not the Panwati Stadium because that's the only place where I get to book tickets so easily, man. I can't book tickets easily in Mumbai. Like last night, when the final tickets came, I wasn't able to book. Then we're so easily able to book the finals tickets. So for me as a fan, I think I'm happy with the Narendra Modi Stadium. They've solved the biggest problem, which was getting inside Gate One. I'm all good with Narendra Modi Stadium.
Okay, so here's the
No, but,
secret. Don't tell anybody. Okay? They can't sell that stadium out. They've never managed to, not even on the November 19th. Right? You cannot
Yeah,
sell out that. There have always been empty tickets, empty seats. 132,000 is the peak capacity. Peak capacity,
I think
including
it just goes up
hospitality. So it
25
depends
or
on.
90.
It depends on.
yeah,
It
I'm
depends
so
on.
surprised by that, considering
See, what
Coldplay sold
happened?
out 2 days in a row.
No, it's
No,
also
so
about
they
to.
sold. Okay, so Coldplay didn't occupy half of, like, you only could occupy 2/3 of it, right? And I would say sold out is the number of tickets they pull out on sale, right? I'm saying they
Exactly.
don't. So there are two things here. One
Oh
is,
yeah, they're
can
holding some.
can they seat 130? Can 132,000 people ever get in there? And the answer is no, because they only sell about 85,000 tickets, right? There's so many extra kept for a variety of random things. I don't think. I mean, I don't think it ever has been sold out. Not because I mean, I was witness to two IPL finals there. They were one of them had CSK in it.
I was there too. I was there.
You were really?
As a CSK fan, what a game, man! What a
Must
game.
have been a great night, yeah.
The game which happened twice over, like three times over.
Yeah. I remember getting caught in the rain. My tickets got wet. Luckily,
Wow.
we had somebody gave me President's Box tickets that I met a friend I met on Instagram. He gave 20
Wow.
tickets. He said, "Call whoever you want." 20
That
tickets.
was literally that was a
Wow.
scene, because you couldn't, and especially because when it went the second day, enough people had made plans and had gone, so you could use the same ticket for the next day's game. But
Right.
and so I remember there was, one of the rare times when we had a hospital. I mean, I was part of the Gujarat Titans team. The hospitality was empty, man. Like free tickets, free premium tickets with the, there was enough empty spaces on the second day. Enough, like
Wow.
way more than you'd want, right?
And
So you
another
actually
fun
had to,
fact.
then the ops people actually got people to go up front and hold those big flags so that it doesn't look so empty. The CSK game. See the match footage, you'll understand what I'm saying. Because they keep cutting
Another
to
fun fact.
Ashish
No,
Nehra's
it
life.
makes a lot of sense. Yeah, makes a lot. Yeah.
Those hospitality stands, right? I wanted to show off to my friends that look at me, I'm in the hospitality. Like usually Indian fans do, right? Like they do a video call at the ground to show their friends where they are. I'm looking there trying to scan, saying, okay, they have Scotch whiskey, and I'm seeing fucking Campo Cola there.
Dude, it's Ahmedabad.
It's not bad.
Then I realized
There was vegetarian
oh my God.
food there too. Right? There was vegetarian food in the hospitality. There was no non-veg either.
So then I realized, man, okay, this is a very different place. And I was like, I want to celebrate. So
very used to
like, how do I celebrate in Ahmedabad? And
I like
we just
also
had to
Campo
walk
Cola.
by- Yeah, exactly. And that's what most Indian fans do.
So
Their
I
level of
found-
swag inside a hospitality is to show Campo Cola and say, look at this fridge. That's it.
Yeah. No, but
Okay.
as a Ahmedabad, I'll tell you one thing. Every time I've gone on a train there, it takes absolutely less than 5 minutes to find someone who wants to sell you liquor. So if you really want a party, just catch a train back.
No, I think that's what I've been told by a lot of locals that, don't come and badmouth Ahmedabad that it's a dry state. If you want alcohol, you'll find it. It clearly shows that you're not somebody who drinks alcohol. And then I realized, yeah, that's probably true. So, so yeah, I think that's qualification chances. Now, last segment on our show. It's almost late, and I have a train tomorrow morning to go to Chennai to watch the India-Zimbabwe game. So I need
You have
to
extra
sleep
tickets?
early.
I'll come. Yeah, I'm empty. I'm free tomorrow.
You're free tomorrow? Just check. So just check just check the group. Yeah, I think there were some tickets that were getting free. So coming back, I think the way it's going to pan out is India will win both the games against West Indies, against Zimbabwe too. India will get into a semi-final.
You think so?
Now the question,
look at the camera and say it. I'm going to put it on a close-up and I'm going to cut to you full screen. Say it again.
Yeah. I'm going to say that India is going to beat Zimbabwe tomorrow. All those fears were on the basis of that one collapse that we had versus South Africa. It also showed a frailty in our batting. But I think if there are truer wickets. That's where India's game usually does well. And India will find its way against West Indies and against Zimbabwe in Chennai and in Kolkata. Now, that means India will play the semi-final in Wankhede. So the question is, who's going to be that second team? So I think England will probably move. They're 4 right now, right? On 4 points. England are more likely probably going to sit on 4. New Zealand might beat England. And as a result, New Zealand goes to 5. England are on 4. So India play England in Wankhede. New Zealand probably.
No, one second. No, one second.
Wait. You're
one
skipping
India
one
plays
little bit.
second. Yeah, one second. Let's hang back there.
Wait, you're
So
skipping
in
one
the
bit
scenario
that
in
is
which-
not in India's thing.
Sorry?
So step 1 is in India's group, South Africa and India qualify, right? That's what you're saying?
Correct. South Africa and India.
As 1 and
qualify.
2.
So South
And then
Correct.
the
So
other
South
group
Africa will
New
be
Zealand
1.
and England.
India will be 2. Correct.
And there is New Zealand and England.
So New Zealand will
India
be
play-
1.
India
England.
plays. In that scenario,
right,
India plays
right.
New Zealand.
India play New Zealand at Wankhede.
At-
Repeat of the 2023 World Cup, and then South Africa play in Kolkata. Again, that is also a repeat. Right? South Africa lost in Kolkata.
To
South
Australia.
Africa play England in Kolkata, and these teams come to Ahmedabad. I'm just so happy if the cup final doesn't go to Colombo, because it means a lot of travel plans are going to be
No,
missed.
so now there is virtually no chance, right? I mean, one second. What is Pakistan's qualification scenario?
Wait, so I just want to go back to the assumption you made here. I also think that
chance.
India are going to win both games. But West Indies, you're saying West Indies have no hope of beating South Africa.
I
Because
don't
if they
think they're a
do,
very
the
good
NRR
T20
goes against us.
Right. So I don't think they're a very good T20 side, West Indies. I think they've performed well because the surfaces that they've got in Kolkata so far, playing Scotland or playing some of the other teams, these are these true flat surfaces. You get West Indies to play on a 140 wicket, I think they'll struggle. Before coming to the series, they played in Nepal. They lost 1-2 in that series. Most of those games were 150, 160 kind
No,
of.
but none of these
No, they
top
were
6
missing
were playing
half
in
their
those.
team.
Yeah, none
Yeah.
of these top 6 was in that team. It was a B team, effective. There was no Hetmeyer and there was no Rutherford for
The
sure.
ODI series, they just blew Nepal away.
Yeah.
Sure, but again,
So those things matter. No, but I get your
I think
point.
that
I get your point. They're not us. I mean, they are a slam bang
they're not an
team.
all-weather T20 unit. I think they are a flat pitch T20 unit. I'm curious to see how they go against India because Kolkata is also a flat wicket for T20s.
So you're saying in a flat wicket
Where are
battle,
they playing South
will
Africa?
not
In a flat hitting battle, I think India has
will outgun
demonstrated
because of India's better
outgun
bowling.
better
We were
bowling
not-
as
we
well
were
as
not-
their batting, right? 250. How many times have we scaled 250? We've done it some 3-4 times in the last cycle. West Indies has done it once.
This week.
Correct.
So
this week. Yeah,
that's
this week. For all this whole fear about 300, only West Indies has gone so far. Huh? Star Sports was really disappointed.
Yeah.
As a
They
broadcaster.
start doing
okay.
200 runs.
Now let's talk about those ads. No, we don't.
We hope.
I think you're somewhere. No, I felt actually nice when India lost to South Africa because the cringe stuff
Because
they
of the
put out
cupcake
on because of the cupcake ad, because of the way they're promoting it, like because we know now India versus Pakistan is not the mocha epic battle. Now they're trying to find can we make South Africa the villain? It's just bizarre.
I think we're entering a very interesting phase with broadcasting here. If the ICC rights are slightly devalued, what it will mean is that the broadcaster will not need to do this cringe stuff because the only way they make money is by making it sound jingoistic and war centric, like bringing random war references. So if your ICC rights value
ICC themselves are doing cringe content, man. That whole clapping thing was an ICC thing, not a Star thing, as far as I can understand.
What is the clap thing you're talking about?
What clapping
The
thing?
one that David Miller, that girl goes around clapping
the
with David
influencer.
Miller. Right.
I think
that is an ICC thing, correct? It's an
also, but
ICC.
I don't think ICC is directing it. ICC is just basically said, here are you 10
Influencer.
influencers, come and make what you want. The script is probably there.
Yeah, but that ICC is calling for that level of or that nature of content on social
No,
media.
but I understand what Karthik is also saying of like if you have much lower rights, you can no longer go for the low margin, high quantity consumers, right? You're going, we need to have smaller numbers of consumers, smaller numbers of viewers, which are paying us higher numbers in terms of monetary value. So then you just have to increase the value of your production, I think. Is that the argument you're making, Karthik?
Yeah, and the focus is not, see here today they are only catering to the Indian fan who, and see even the whole thing, the mocking thing that comes, right? Why would you do
Hmm.
that? You're a broadcaster. You're not some cheap jingoistic this thing, right? You're a broadcaster for cricket all over the world. Mocha was a certain level of banter. Now you're taking you're openly disrespecting teams
The
as the
first,
broadcaster.
yes, the first Mocha was A, breakthrough, and B, you're right, it was banter. It was, one-upmanship. After that, it's become jingoistic, right? I think the nature of that whole narrative also became very jingoistic after a point, right? Trying to, I mean,
So
which again,
I think what worries me more is these ads are there, but they're clearly built to annoy you into talking about it, right? What
Right.
worries me more is when you have the rain delays, when you have halftime games between two associates where they can't be bothered to actually do analysis. They do these replays, and the replays are always, oh, 10 years ago, Yuvraj hit these sixes, and oh, Dhoni hit these sixes. And at least growing up in the whatever late 90s and 2000s, for me, it was always you watch the classic matches when there's a rain delay, right? They used to actually provide you, it would be, oh, India Pakistan match, or we're going to show you the 2005 Ashes, because that's what is actually happening in the world right now. Why don't you watch that for now? I think that bit where the small things which are not built for jingoism are also moving in the direction of, oh, India, 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 India. That I think is a little bit more worrisome.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that
mm,
production quality will improve because the ICC rights will be devalued, and they wouldn't have to work so hard to get the same set of fans. Now cricket will probably have that global standing, but I don't know where. If Mukesh Ambani is a smart man; he will devalue the rights.
haven't they made a play for it already?
They've made a play for it, but then they said, "Hey, nothing happened. Yeah, we're fine." That's what they said. But that's
Okay.
like no Greg Chappell and Saurav Ganguly playing pool after their fight on email, saying, "Hey, look at us, we're fine."
Do
Yeah,
we
I think
have
it's going to be
any
the
more
night after World Cup.
memes and stuff to go through?
No, we're done. We're done. We're just now to go to bed. I have to wake up at 4 in the morning and then go catch the Shatabdi to Chennai.
All right.
Okay, it was
You still
nice
want to
So,
go to
final,
interacting
final
with you.
thoughts. Final thoughts. Sri
Final
Lanka
thoughts
bow out.
tomorrow.
New
Sri Lanka
Zealand.
out.
New Zealand
Yeah.
march on, and the tournament. I think for teams, it's what it's doing is rewarding teams with clarity rather than teams with chaos, right?
Right.
As an approach, I think that's what's coming through to me based on our conversations today also, because the margins are big, the pressure is big, right? Yet every team knows that there's no scope for plan B and plan C because you are set. You have to kind of be very nimble uh, in tournaments like this. I think that's what I'm taking home from our discussions and what has been translating in tournaments like this, where one night of 20 minutes could could did, could actually make the tournament seismic, like what happened with South Africa beating India, or with England beating or rather Phil Jacks beating Sri Lanka in the first 20 minutes of their chase. What happens then is that feels seismic, that okay, shit, this is the end of the world for these teams, right? But their momentum can flip just as quickly, right? Because what India needs to, I think, believe is that the talent is still there. The talent hasn't vanished, right? Our thought process, what they call the process and the structure and whatever, that hasn't collapsed. It was just needs recalibration as we go forward, right? So I think that's what we'll take in the next few days. Sharper middle overs, I think, braver intent and calmer finishing. I think these are the three my take homes, because I think what we need is the big guys, the more experienced guys to come into play. I think the Hardiks and the Akshars and the those guys as batters need to come through, because they are what actually pushed us through in this phase in the last tournament as well. It was Akshar at 5 and Hardik at 6, which kept us going rather than and in this phase of the tournament, uh, which was getting closer to qualification for the semi-final. From as we once we had qualified, I think it was the big guys, the bigger guys who took these. So I think your big guns need to fire. I think that's what should happen. Your thoughts? Karthik?
Yeah, let Karthik go last as the Godfather. But no, I agree with you. I think for the most part, I also fundamentally believe that you play your best players, right? So the constant experimentation with Washington Sundar just makes no sense to me. He's a good player. He did a good job last year in England, but Aksar is better. Just play Aksar. I guess you can play both now with Rinku out, but when you have to make a choice, choose your best players.
I think more than picking specific personnel, I think India need to have a horses for courses approach. If they encounter black soil again, I think India will need to size up and play this kind of cricket that Sena or news countries are playing, where they are able to maybe bat it calmly and then wait for those middle overs where you have the batting talent. Today at 84 for 6, New Zealand innings of
There
two
was clarity.
halves.
You could actually see there was clarity. There was clarity in their thought that this is what we need to do now to get it through.
With the guy playing his first game of the tournament.
Yeah.
It's remarkable that they had like 5 overs in between where they scored 9 runs, New Zealand, 2, and 1. And they had those 4 overs where they picked 70 runs. So New Zealand did not panic. They were able to play the waiting game. And then they just targeted the pace bowlers once Sri Lanka, put that whip saying, okay, let me give you some pace. And that's it. And the game just ended right there. So I think India needs to look out for that clarity. I think they will come good on Chennai and Kolkata, which are going to be truer surfaces from what I look and understand. From the past scorecards, I don't know which strip. They've said the Afghanistan-New Zealand strip. But that said, I'm hoping for India to win these 2 games and qualify as the second team in the group that we are in. Let's see how that goes.
So, wishing you luck as a fan, that it doesn't prove that you are the Panoti.
Oh my God.
And it's you. You've been to all these games. So yeah, Indian expecting a big win with clarity and no panic. That's, I think.
By the way, you just hit a nerve in this thing, man. The last 5 games that I've been to, Bangalore Test match, India lost. Mumbai Test match, India lost. MCG, India lost. SCG, India lost. Kolkata Test match, India lost. Ahmedabad, India lost. My God, you cracked a pattern.
So it is you. Know. It is you.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Puncture that train tire.
The train, collapse the train.
All right.
Right. Chalo guys, looking forward to doing this again in a couple of days or tomorrow night, late tomorrow night, hopefully with access to internet from Chennai. Till then,
do it from the stadium. Live it
yeah.
Up. Let's do this from the stadium.
If we get a BCCI notice, then it means we're doing a good job.
No, so if you get out of the, if you get on the somewhere outside of the stands, then you can do it.
I think we can do it during the day. If you guys are fine, we can do it during the day. I will put my headphones on. I anyway have 2 phones that I'm carrying around. So
before the game,
before the game.
Oh, yeah.
After the game, you will have to wait
we'll
the crowd comes.
No, we'll know the West Indies South Africa result by then also.
Oh,
right.
That might
dampen.
That might have a play up. But yeah, I mean, if you're winning the tournament, you can't be dependent on other results. You have to win it on your own. So
that's how a CSK fan thinks. I know Tarut is an RCB fan. He's used to the calculator, but still.
That's it. Yeah. We've got 3 titles in 3 years, and somehow I'm more depressed than ever.
So on that note, okay, we'll talk about this offline. I think I'm the good luck charm for RCB. I have a theory on why.
Okay.
Things have changed for RCB since I moved to Bangalore.
You moved in 2024, 23?
Well, okay. So let me put it this way: 2025 April was the first time in 12 years that I wasn't associated with a IPL team. Right.
Oh, okay.
And that's one.
Yeah, and then I became a Bangalore, and a City loyalist. I was trying to become, and you and I met on an event of RCB, which I tried to
put together
as well. So that's how my attempted fandom for RCB has begun, and since then RCB is only RCB is one.
And you know what? As a CSK fan, I topped the quiz with the highest amount. It's an RCB, right? I topped that.
About RCB.
For the prelims,
about RCB, exactly. So yeah,
I think it's time you listen to your heart, man.
So no team I have worked with, once I've left them, have they won. So let me put it this way also.
As long as you're not going to work with RCB, right? Is that what the next
Well, I'm
announcement
not
is?
okay. So yeah, so there is a good luck charm. So any team I have worked with once, and once they've won a tournament, and if I've not worked with them, they haven't won since. So, so I'm yeah, it's me. It's all me. So on that note, we are hitting a
On that
1 hour
note,
mark. Which is
yeah,
way.
and thank you to all the 70 people who've stayed up with us. It's so nice to see all of you joining us in this little journey. We're going to do this more regularly. Look forward to you folks staying subscribed to our channel, the Cow Corner Dugout. Till then, good night. And if we continue for 23 more minutes, I'll have to say good morning, but we'll stop at that and it'll be good night.
All right, so I need to do something to stop the stream now. And
I've clicked on end stream.